What's up, everybody? Uncle Mike coming at you with another exciting topic for tonight. I don't have any money, so there's no real quality in this footage or set. But give it time, maybe we'll actually see something develop here. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the topic today. Two topics. The first one's going to cover why I feel every Jiu Jitsu practitioner should train some kind of stand-up, some kind of striking. Whether it's boxing, it could be strictly boxing, or it's Muay Thai, or anything really. But pick an art that's realistic to what you might see on the street. You know, I'm not knocking Taekwondo or Jeet Kune Do or whatever. You know, I'm not knocking anything like that. It's just pick a style that seems relevant. And then the other topics I'll save to the end. So, in fact, let's get comfortable for tonight's topic. Why I think every Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner should at some point train stand-up. Let's get right down to it. Let me get comfortable for this tonight's show. Since we're talking about old school styles, why not bust out some tradition? Yeah. Really gotta stretch those hammies out. Ooh, okay, motherfuckers. Now I'm in position, right? Blah! Enough of me being an asshole. So, I was thinking to myself, how can I make this topic very simple? And it came to me. The arm bar. Did I just hear Henner? Dang. The arm bar. Why do you train the arm bar? Why do you drill the arm bar? To get better at the arm bar. So go with me here. You've hit the arm bar, you've drilled it, you've drilled it, you've drilled it. You've done it from the mount, you've done it from off your back. You know how to hit an arm bar. We all do, right? I hope so. Shit. So tell me something. Can you feel when somebody's going for an arm bar on you? Yeah, you can. You sure can. How do you know that? Did you train to feel what an arm bar feels like? No. But you trained how to do an arm bar. You trained how to set up an arm bar. So you know the full mechanics of an arm bar. You know how an arm bar works. I think we're getting somewhere. I think so. So you know how the arm bar works, right? So where am I going with this? If someone grabs your wrist or drags your arm across their body, you know what's happening. Why should you train stand-up? Because the same fucking reason, people. You don't have to be a great stand-up artist. That's not your goal. That's not your game. So let's say self-defense is, let's say you don't give a shit about self-defense, but you know jiu-jitsu. So maybe one night when you're out drinking, you're going to run your fucking mouth off, you know, and you're going to hope that if shit goes down, you can say, whoa, bro, get on your fucking knees. Okay, now we can go. Most of us start on our knees, right? Which is fine because we all know takedowns is where a lot of injuries come into play. So you really got to trust who you're practicing your takedowns with, which I might make a video about that. I might actually show you how I chain takedowns together. But anyways, that's why you need to train striking. Because even though you have jiu-jitsu as your true game, if you truly want to understand the art of jiu-jitsu, the true art of jiu-jitsu was not to gain a point, but it was to gain your life in the street and survive. So some asshole's going to throw a jab at you. If you don't know how to slip a jab, you're going to eat the jab. If you don't know how to duck, you're going to eat that jab. If the guy's not doing anything, maybe you have to throw a hand. Maybe you have to get the pace moving if you know you're in that situation. Obviously, we're not looking for trouble, but if trouble finds us, we're going to have answers. So this can almost be a really, really short topic, which is awesome because I ramble all the fucking time. But it just makes sense to me. Now, way too many times I'll see a guy. I have seen high-level jiu-jitsu guys, even on YouTube, and when it comes to them throwing on gloves and trying to practice throw a hand, They are fucking lost, man. They are so lost. It looks like a 1920s boxer. You know one of these fellas? Good luck, bro. You might be sick as shit on the ground, but you got to get the fight to the ground. So, like I tell people nowadays, if I ever had to use my jiu-jitsu for self-defense, I'm probably not going to hit anybody because I don't want to get fucking sued, right? But I've trained striking long enough that I can pretty much see what you're going to throw at me. And whatever you catch me off guard with, I at least know how to block it because I've trained that way. So if you really want your jiu-jitsu to be complete, and this isn't like something fucking new here, believe it or not, traditional jiu-jitsu, Gracie Jiu-Jitsu actually had strikes in it. It had kicks. I think even Gracie Baja, I think they might even have on their curriculum for like basic, like beginner's level, it's that some of that self-defense stuff. How to catch a kick and take down, right? I don't really worry too much on kicks because, man, nowadays everybody watches the UFC. But if you don't know how to train and you just think in the street you're going to act Brody and throw a kick at me, unless you've ever trained, your kick ain't going to be worth a damn. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much. You got to drill to get a good solid kick that's worth a damn. But anybody can throw a haymaker. Anybody can throw a straight cross. Anybody can throw a hook. Someone can throw an uppercut. If they start off the bat with an uppercut, they're a fucking idiot. So, I guess that kind of sums up that topic. What are we at right here? Oh shit, I think we're at like 6 minutes. That broke a record right there. So, doesn't mean you have to train all the time, and it doesn't mean you have to be a Golden Glove champion. I would almost say boxing might be a good way to go for a guy who's trying to incorporate a stand-up style into his jiu-jitsu. Why do I say boxing? Boxers tend to be heavier on the lead leg, right? They tend to bob and weave more. Now, you have to realize when you're dealing with somebody who has no boxing gloves on and just bare fist, that shit hurts if you don't fucking bob or weave the right way. But a lot of times, you know, if you learn how to do head movement this way, right? Boom, you go in for your takedown right there. So it really ties well together. So that really works. So if you don't want to do any type of stand-up, but you got to get a little something in, 1 day a week, work on some boxing. Grab a buddy in the gym. Say, bro, I saw how to throw a jab cross on YouTube. Get your basic 3-punch combination down. Get a jab, get a cross, get a hook. Maybe for shits and giggle, drill some shit where the guy throws haymakers at you. Just overhand rights. Because I used to call that the club punch. You could be standing in the club and be like, yo, motherfucker. I almost dropped the wrong word. I'm in South Florida, you get away with that shit. I'm like, yo, motherfucker. You gonna start some shit? You gonna start some shit? And this is the most cardinal way of fighting. You gonna start some shit, man? You gonna start some shit? Boom! They go like that. Right? That's where I like my prayer stance. Let out a little secret. If you're in the club and someone's starting shit, be like, bro, man, I ain't got no problems, man. I ain't got no problems. What am I doing? My hands are up. I can block. So you throw that crazy hit up, boom, and boom. God damn, I'm gonna fuck you up. God damn. Feels good. So anyways, dedicate some time. If you really, really want to get your jiu-jitsu right, granted, if you're just training for fun, but you never know, man. I work with a lot of guys in the sheriff's department and some even homicide detectives. I remember one homicide detective once told me, he said, do you know, Mike, when you're going to become a victim? No, because none of us fucking know. That's why we train. So if you're going to complete yourself, don't be like, well, at least I know enough to survive. Yeah, you probably do. But do you know enough to avoid a punch coming straight at your face? Because if you've never drilled it, you're not going to know how to react to it. You're not going to know the stress that's behind it. So that's my 2 cents on that shit. Train a little bit of stand-up. It'll do you some good. It'll make you more confident in your takedown abilities. You'll actually find, too, that it's a lot easier to take somebody down if they throw a punch at you. Or if you got to throw a punch at them, that's real easy. Talk to a wrestler. He'll tell you all about it. Whew. Let me just check out these Valty Doshuas, huh? Look at that. Bah! Some quadriceps, bitch! Yeah, you know, I get some stack going on. What the fuck, you know? Gotta look good for my woman. Gotta grab that shit. Alright, anyway. Where the fuck did I just go? Second topic. Actually, it's just a tip. I might throw these in here. So let's say you trained in the morning, in the gi, and then you had to go to work, and you took your gi and you threw it in your trunk. I've been there, that's why I'm going to tell you about this. And then the next day you forgot the gi was in the trunk, and you're not training the next day, or you can't find your gi. I don't know where the fuck my gi is, so you wear another gi. Let's say that was on a Saturday. Then Wednesday rolls around, and you're like, holy shit, my car smells like someone died in it. There you go. You open up the trunk. It smells like 25 men's ball sacks were sitting in the back seat. Boom, your gi smells like it's a rotten ass. How do we fix this? You just can't wash it because that shit ain't going to work. You might think it worked, but it didn't work. So sometimes you'll wash your gi, and then it smells fine, and then you get on the mat, and as soon as sweat hits that bitch, it's like, boom, like, what the fuck? Who's in this motherfucker? Where you stashing them balls at? It fucking stinks. Why is that? It's because you have mold in your gi. You have bacteria. You have shit growing in it. Sometimes you might even see a discoloration in your gi. That's a big sign that something's going on. You won't always see that with a black gi. I do have black gis. So, what are some tips? You can put it in the freezer. That kills bacteria. Well, guess what? That's a smart concept. I've done it. Didn't work. My gi smelled like shit. So I'll tell you what worked for me. And this really worked. And it's worked ever since. I never had to do it again. My gi smelled like a grown man's ass times 10. And I took a container, like a big storage container. I put my gi in it. I poured a gallon jug of white vinegar. Then I poured a gallon jug of water. So 1 part vinegar, 1 part water. I let that bitch sit for 2 hours. I did this outside. I let it sit for 2 hours outside. After 2 hours, I came back. I took a cup of baking soda, let that bitch go together with the vinegar, let some reactions happen, some hardcore looking OxyClean shit going on. Let that sit for 2 hours. Let the gi come out, air dry. Once it's air dried, then wash it. So yeah, the process sounds like it's a big process, right? But you'll probably do anything to get that fucking stank out of your gi. And I'm telling you right now, it will work. Your gi will actually look like you bleached it if it's white. I'll be like, holy shit, that thing's clean. So that's a lot of work. It's like a fucking 4.5 hour process between. Actually, it's longer because you're gonna let it soak for 4 hours, 2 hours in just the vinegar, 2 hours of vinegar and baking soda. You're gonna let it air dry for probably another 2 hours outside. Then you're gonna wash it, and that's gonna take an hour. So it is a process, but I'm telling you, your gi will appreciate it, your skin will appreciate it, and more importantly, the people you train with will stop feeling like, fuck, you stink like shit. Okay? I think we covered everything. Alright guys, until tomorrow, where I talk about something else random, I will see you on the flip side. Holla! I gotta do something different every night, you know? I mean, shit, this stuff's getting old, motherfucker.